Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And it's time for my weekly NFL picks against the spread as week 11 is entering our lives starting tomorrow with Thursday night football. Let's take a look at my record for this season. I'm still 17 games over 500, but definitely have not done as well as I did the beginning of the season, as the first 5 weeks I had all winning weeks. You see, last week a disappointing 5-9, and man, I did terrible on the 1 p.m. games. 2 straight weeks where 4 p.m. and night games kind of saved me. I was 1-7 after the 1 o'clock games this week. So 4-2 in the 4 o'clock and night games. And I think I went 5-0 in 4 o'clock and night games in week 9. So basically, I just need to get these 1 o'clock games right. Like, that's what's really bringing me down these last couple weeks. And then I could get back to my winning ways. So let's hope it happens again starting this week. So let's take a look. 14 games as 4 teams have byes. Start with our Thursday night game. Much better Thursday night game than last week, which was the Panthers and Bears. We got the Bengals and Ravens. A very tough one because, man, it seems like the Ravens either look like the best team in football or somehow blow a game that they should win. I mean, they could honestly be 9-0 instead of 10-0 instead of 7-3. Bengals had looked like they had been playing better. Lost to the Texans, though. Game they easily could have won. They're in last place in their division at 5-4. I'm expecting a very tight game. Bengals maybe don't necessarily win, but I'm picking them to cover. Cowboys minus 10.5 at the Panthers. I just feel like the Cowboys look like one of those dominant teams when they play against lesser opponents. When they face a very good team, might be a different story. Of course, the Panthers have the least wins in football, so that's one of the lesser teams in the league. So Cowboys win by at least 2 touchdowns. Consider me a believer in Antonio Pierce. Yes, it's the Giants and Jets he beat. Not exactly world beaters, but just seems like a much better culture. Players are playing much more relaxed, enjoying themselves much more. So while I think the Dolphins do win, the Dolphins this season have been a team that defeat lesser opponents, lose to some of the better teams. Raiders are 500 again, and to be underdog by 13.5, that just seems like too much. I'll pick the Dolphins to win by maybe 10, but the Raiders to cover. Lions minus 8 versus the Bears. Justin Fields expected to be back, but to be honest, I'm not necessarily sure how much better the team has been with him than Tyson Bagent. I think he's a better quarterback than Tyson Bagent. But the Lions, if you take away that Ravens game, have looked like probably the third best team in the NFC. I'm going with them to win by at least 10 points. I'm a Giants fan, man. One of our 2 wins is against the Commanders, but at least Tyrod Taylor was playing that game. They got Tommy DeVito in this game. Sam Howell, especially the defense, seems to have kind of given up these past 2 games. Dak Prescott absolutely destroyed him in 3 quarters. Aiden O'Connell had a very good game against them. So Sam Howell might throw for 350 and 3. And Commanders win by double digits. Cardinals plus 5 at Texans. Man, I mean, Texans, one of the surprise teams in the NFL. Right in that AFC playoff hunt. Fresh off a win against the Bengals. But Cardinals also fresh off a win against the Falcons. And I just think Kyler Murray is going to play really well to end this season. I'm not sure the Cardinals win this game, but I expect them to be competitive throughout the rest of the season. Texans don't necessarily have a great defense. The Buccaneers lit them up 2 weeks ago. Just C.J. Stroud had to have the best game maybe ever by a rookie quarterback. But I think the Cardinals can at least cover and keep it close. I originally, when I looked at these lines this morning, I was ready to take the Browns minus 4. Not knowing if Watson was going to play, but I was going to take the risk. Well, now we know Deshaun Watson is out for the season. Enter Dorian Thompson Robinson. He started one game earlier this season against the Ravens. It was not good, but keep in mind Deshaun Watson was basically ruled out that weekend, so it's not like he had a lot of practice time. Should have a little more time this time around, but I'm expecting a defensive struggle in this game, and the Steelers are just finding ways to win these games. Continues. Let's look at games 8 through 14. Jaguars -7 versus Titans. I like the spread this morning at 6.5, even though it's only a half a point difference. Made me a little skeptical on who to take because I could see the Jaguars winning by exactly 7. I'm going with them to rebound after their absolute shellacking at the hands of the San Francisco 49ers. Chargers -3 at Packers. I took the Packers a few times earlier in the season. I have zero faith in them now. And not like I'm a believer in the Chargers. Their defense has been awful. But I just don't know if Jordan Love can capitalize on that. Christian Watson's been invisible for the Packers pretty much this season. 49ers back to their dominant ways. They got Trent Williams back. They got Deebo Samuel back. And they destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars. Buccaneers haven't played bad the last couple weeks, but again, the 49ers seems like when they're at full strength, they destroy their opposition, and I expect that to be the case. This game here, who really knows? I've to begin the season, I was almost taking the Bills every week. The past 2 weeks, I didn't take the Bills, and they covered. The Jets, I've been going against them too, and recently they haven't been covering. I don't know. I mean, Zach Wilson's terrible. The Bills have underachieved by a great deal. Josh Allen, turnovers galore. I'm going with the Jets. You wonder if the offensive coordinator change could spark the Bills. I'm not sure. I don't know. I could have basically flipped a coin for that game. Seahawks -1 at Rams. I just think the Seahawks are the better team. Yes, Matthew Stafford will probably be back. Seahawks offensive line's a little bit healthier while they got dominated at times. Aaron Donald might not be able to wreak havoc this Sunday. Vikings +2.5 at Broncos. Two teams that looked like they were completely finished. Vikings were 1-4. Justin Jefferson was out. Since then, they've won 5 in a row. Broncos have won 3 in a row. That 70-point game they gave up to the Dolphins seems like centuries ago. So, again, two teams on the upswing. Right now, I just believe in the Vikings a little bit more. I mean, that Bills game was kind of a fluke. Josh Allen's 3 turnovers and then 12 men on the field for a field goal. I mean, I didn't mention the Bills, but man, if Bills don't make the playoffs, I don't see how Sean McDermott could keep his job. Anyhow, game of the week is our Monday Night Football game, a rematch of this past season's Super Bowl. Chiefs -2.5 versus the Eagles. Right now I'm just believing the Chiefs, fresh off their bye week, well rested. Travis Kelce coming off a disappointing last game. I think he bounces back, has maybe 9 for 120 and a touchdown. And the Chiefs defense just playing awesome. Should be a tight game in the end. I think the Chiefs prevail, and they're going for that number 1 seed in the AFC, especially with the Ravens blowing that game against the Browns last week. But those are my picks. I didn't mention that those spreads are via DraftKings Sportsbook at about 5:15 p.m. Eastern time. But let me know in the comments which spread you like most. Maybe who are some of your best bets. Which do you disagree on with me? Let me know in the comments. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.